The town seemed to be as peaceful as ever, the clock ticking away on yet another Thursday of my small 9-to-5 life. The days left little to the memory rather than sleep, work, TV, sleep, when you are already 34, and they all seem to blend in a kaleidoscope of apathy, yet not a carefree one. I had taken a nap on the living room couch and gotten up to fetch food from the fridge. For some reason, the one close by seemed to be the best choice, and soon I found myself in the local grocery store. Among the shelves full of essentials and comfort foods, I ran into Michael, quite literally considering my notorious clumsiness. He was quite the sight for our small town. In stature, more than one could say about me, niggle at my self-esteem that I could struggled, really, with my weight. He smiled kindly, already recognizing me from the times at the post office. "Anna Wright?" he inquired. I'm quite sure I turned beet red. Why did this always happen? "I'm Michael. I've seen you around," he continued. He was too nice. With that smile so disarmingly charming and those dark, piercing eyes, I was swooning helplessly. "Thanks," I mumbled, attempting to be funny. "You aren't too bad either." The cringe set in almost instantly. What could someone like that even want with me? And then he popped the question. "Listen, Anna, I was wondering, would you be interested in grabbing a coffee or something? Not particularly scenic. The shop, I mean. But the coffee is amazing." His eyes drilled into mine. I was baffled. Why would someone like him want anything to do with someone like me? In the end, all I could muster was a nonchalant, "Sure, tomorrow after work, is it?" And as usual for the town full of gossips, he walked me home. The thought had left me paralyzed. Was he serious, or was it some elaborate joke? Why on earth would he settle for a pasty office worker like me? The next day I found myself sitting at the same coffee shop waiting for Michael. I was nervously fidgeting with my nervous hands, not even sure he would show up. When he entered the shop, however, right on time, wearing that same charming smile, I felt as my heart relaxed. We sipped away the coffee and talked about work, life in our tiny town, and hobbies. Michael was quite easy to talk to, and the more we spent time together, the less I experienced my hang-ups. By the time we finished the evening, I discovered a bond with Michael that I had never seen coming. Perhaps this was just the start of something I hadn't encountered before. Fast forward a few weeks, and things with Michael were developing at an alarming rate, faster than I had anticipated. And here we were entering Giovan's, the most extraordinary and fancy place in town. Michael had argued we needed to have dinner because he had something crucial to talk about. And my heart beating high in emotion, I was waiting for him to start speaking, his beautiful hoarse voice cutting the nervousness in the air. He blinked and then shifted the wine glass in his hand. "We need to have a conversation," he stated seriously. A lump formed in the back of my throat immediately. "About what?" I inquired, anxiously feeling my heart pounding. "This is about our wedding. There are some extra things I have not accounted for, and I am slightly tight on cash." I shook my head, trying to comprehend what he was saying. It was not the picture of a romantic moment I imagined. "I'm confused. What do you mean?" "Extra things. There are about 20,000 extra dollars I need to get," he said. "I realize it is a lot, but this is for the extra stuff. Our wedding must be perfect, my love." I felt myself choking on my wine. $20,000, Michael. That is incredibly much money. Where was this money yesterday? I thought we had a budget." He reached and squeezed my hand. I know. "Anna, listen to me. I will be fine. This is just to plan our perfect wedding. Just need your help, that's all. We will sort it out together." The rest of the dinner passed in a blur. All I could think about was Michael's request that I had accepted to pay. But all in all, I was in love and totally trusted Michael. The day after I agreed to Michael's hefty request at Jovan's, he began acting suspiciously. He never put his phone down, and whenever I tried dragging conversation related to the wedding, he would kill it right there. I convinced myself that I was just feeling jittery about the wedding and my finances in general. Nonetheless, 2 days after I chose to give him the money, I came back to my rented apartment, only for Michael to be nowhere in sight. There was no evidence that he had ever even been there. I found a note on the table, and I remember my heart almost stopped. It read, "Anna, thanks for the money. I'm going on a fantastic vacation with my girlfriend. Sorry, but you're too fat and ugly for me. I hope you find a man on your level." I must have read that note so many times, assuming the words would rearrange themselves into something less hurtful. The tempo of betrayal, heartbreak, and embarrassment hit me. And also, he had taken the $20,000 I had given him. I had no one left to call except Lucy. I called her and said, feeling tears start to fall from the corners of my bloodshot eyes, "Lucy, it's over. Michael left me. He took all his things and the money. And he left me a note saying he can't marry a fat girl." I was sniffling, and my heart was a dish rag, torn by emotional turmoil. That son of a, "Are you okay? Do you want me to come over?" It didn't take Lucy long to arrive, and I was still hysterical. She hugged me, allowing me to cry on her shoulder. "How could he do this to you, Anna? I can't believe it." Lucy raged at my shoulders. "I don't understand. I gave him all of it. What am I going to do?" The seriousness of my financial position was sinking in. And I'm fucking broke and heartbroken. It hurts. "First, we get you out of this apartment. You can stay with me for a bit. Then we go to the bank, see about getting a loan or something. Anna, we're getting you out of this mess. You're stronger than you're giving yourself credit for." Lucy's words were nothing but a drop in the bucket. Unfortunately, the following days played out just as she predicted. I moved out from the apartment and stopped myself from letting out a loud, dramatic sob. I called the bank and applied for a loan, piling more debt onto the already unpaid bills from before. I did every little thing to try and piece my life back together. But Michael's betrayal was still breathing down my neck. It felt like things wouldn't get any better because I tried, really I tried. I moved in with Lucy, thinking it'd only be for a while. Then those days turned weeks. Every time I looked up, the burden that was what Michael did seemed like it was getting even heavier, not lighter. I felt like I just should have died when I got the news. It was easy, so easy. "I can't believe that jerk did this to you," Lucy said one evening. We were sitting on her couch, a giant mountain of debt papers in front of us, and just away, just left, not even caring about your debts. I took a sip of my tea that did little to comfort me. I was thinking of getting a second job. I could work at the diner in the evenings, maybe the gas station at night. Anything to start paying my debts back. "That's a start, Anna, but I've been thinking, maybe talk to a lawyer. Maybe there's some money there, and get some miles back from Michael." I shook my head. "You really think I have the money to consult a lawyer, Lucy? And let's be honest, Michael's achieved better than the whole leave town without looking back thing. Just vanished into thin air. No one knows where he is." The next weeks ahead turned into an impossible smear of job hunting, rejection letters, despair. Somehow, I managed to land a part-time job in the local diner, but even working there full-time won't help me earn up the money to cover even the loan. But I fought. I really did. And Lucy was there, and I refused. "I'm 34 years old, Lucy. I got this." And that was how a few months passed. I worked 2 jobs, and I was hustling to pay down the loan, So in a tiny apartment I found myself not saying goodbye to the comforting abode of Lucy. There was nothing to tell about the evening I spent with just a cat and a massive pizza. It was just like before. But then came the unexpected. The doorbell buzzed, and I assumed it was the pizza. Sliding a hand over my face to wipe the remaining tears away and pulling down my pajama top, hurried to open the door. I was ready to meet my partner for the night, a large pepperoni pie. But the doorbell was not from the pizza dude. Standing there was a delivery man with the biggest bouquet of roses I have ever seen. He seemed unsure of the address. Anna Smith, he hesitantly asked. Yeah, that's me, but I think you've got the wrong place. I didn't order the flowers, I answered confused. No mistake, ma'am. They are for you, he said, and handed me the card that tagged along with the flowers. My hand shook as I read the note. You are beautiful. I've liked you for a long time, but let's keep it anonymous for now. My heart skipped a beat. But who could have delivered them? I looked at the guy. Who sent these? He shook his head. Sorry, ma'am. I just delivered 'em. I don't know the sender, he said before leaving and closing the door. I stood there holding the bouquet and note, my feelings spinning, confusion, shock, but most of all, a glimmer of hope. It felt like a chance in the dark, like a hand stretched out to save me. I had to tell someone, and won't believe what happened. Lucy, you won't believe what just happened. I got flowers from a secret admirer. I shouted, my mind racing. What? On Valentine's Day? Child, spill. Lucy's voice was a mix of astonishment and curiosity. I proceeded to tell her about the flowers, the note, and embracing the magic of the moment. It was quiet on the other end of the line. Anna, this is absolutely amazing, but also a little creepy, right? Secret admirer and all, Lucy finally said, after a long pause, her voice filled with happiness and concern. I know it's insane, but right now I'll take amazing and a little creepy in my life any time. I replied, smiling for the first time in months. Touche, just be careful, okay? And hey, enjoy the flowers. You deserve to feel beautiful, because you are, Lucy added. I spent the rest of the evening awkwardly glancing at the bouquet on the table and letting my mind wander. This was just a gesture, and I wasn't ready to dive back into dating just yet, but at least this made me feel seen, valued, and most importantly, changed. For the next few days, I woke up waiting for something. Every morning, I would look out the window for a surprise delivery. Then, one day it happened. I was surrounded by paperwork when a delivery guy marched into our office with a package. My heart skipped a beat when he asked for me, and everyone in the office turned silent, watching me sign for it. Looks like someone's got a secret admirer. Mark, one of my colleagues, teased me, leaning against my desk. I tried to shush away the butterflies in my stomach as he chuckled wetly. Yeah, well, don't make me regret telling you. Keep it together, I said, feeling my cheeks grow hot. I couldn't wait until lunch, eager to see what the parcel held. A note and a brooch. The note read, To you, my true love. You are beautiful. I spent the evening telling Lucy about my gift. A few days later, and somehow, by the mystery and kindness of my secret admirer, I found myself walking a little taller, smiling a bit more. Each little act of kindness was chipping away at the walls I had built around myself. Then I chose to put on the brooch and went to my favorite coffee spot after work. I sat, sipping on my latte and reading a book. I could feel the eyes on me. When I looked up, our eyes locked. I had seen him, the man across the room. This man was undeniably handsome, and his smile sent a flutter through my heart. He lifted his cup in a silent toast to me. Hi, he said brightly, or at least his grin gave the impression of friendliness. His eyes slipped to the brooch on my chest. I couldn't help but notice that brooch. "It's quite beautiful," he remarked, nodding towards the brooch. I blushed. "Oh, thank you. It was a gift," I answered, a bit bashful. "A gift? Sounds like someone thinks quite highly of you," he says with a slyer smile. "Yeah, it seems that way," I replied, pushing my hair behind my ear. "Anna, I am Alex," he introduced himself. "Do you mind if I join you?" he asked, holding up the empty chair. "Not at all," I said, breathless. We talked for what felt like years, ranging from the mundane to the ethereal. Haven't connected to someone so utterly in years. But the question stuck at the back of my mind. Was he my secret admirer? As the evening comes to an end, Alex gets up to leave. "I enjoyed talking to you, Anna. I hope we can do it again soon," he said warmly. "I'd like that," I said softly. He smiled and gave me a wave, and he was gone. I sat there for a second thinking. Whether he was my admirer or not, one thing was intentional. I felt like I was alive again, and the next few weeks seemed to pass me by in an instant. Alex and I spent every waking moment together. We went on long walks, watched movies, and talked for hours about countless unrelated topics. However, the identity of my secret benefactor was still unknown. Instead, it hovered just at the edge of my mind, peeking through the corners, but not seizing my conscience. A few weeks later, I brought it up with Alex during our regular coffee. "Hey, can I ask you something? It is a little strange," I began apprehensively, fiddling with my spoon. He put down his drink and raised an eyebrow. "Sure, go ahead. I don't know how, but before you and I began seeing each other, someone sent me these weird gifts. I always wondered if it was you," I admitted. Alex chuckled and patted my hand. "Oh, come on. I don't strike you as the secret admirer kind of guy, do I?" he inquired. I laughed, too, bittersweet relief filling me. "I guess not. I am more for the honesty route," Alex said before leaning back on his chair to sip his coffee. That was the end of the conversation. The following week, Lucy revealed the rest of the mystery during one of our movie nights. "Anna, there is something I want to tell you," Lucy announced, pausing the movie. Turned to her and noticed that she looked deadly serious. "Okay, shoot," I replied with an uneasy smile. She took a deep breath and squeezed the remote in her hand. All those gifts and the flowers and the brooch. It was me, Lucy said, expression tense, awaiting my reaction. My face must have been a real struggle to read, because her brow furrowed immediately after I tried to speak and couldn't. "You, but why? I just wanted you to feel special, beautiful, and amazing. I thought if you felt that someone was out there admiring you, maybe it would be you seeing yourself the way I do, you know. After everything with Michael, I just wanted the best for you. And you didn't have to do it. I know I didn't have to. I wanted to. You're my best friend, Anna. I can't stand to see you sad," she said, sounding like she was about to cry. We hugged. I held her in my arms until she stopped shaking. It was a type of hug that words can never encompass. When our tears dried up, I laughed. "You know, all told, you're the finest friend I've ever had," I remarked as he wiped the last tears. Finally, the danger posed by my secret admirer evaporated, allowing natural light to filter in from the special relationship I already shared with Alex. Lucy's generosity gave me the goal I needed to seek therapy, get back into it, and return my smile to my face. I didn't think about how many twists and turns I'd change in the next year and a half. I'd begun to feel like I knew everyone I wanted in my life, but before I knew it, the doorbell rang. The person standing outside stunned me with a baffled expression. It was Michael, my former fiancé, who apologized for his idiocy. "Anna, you look good. I saw your photo in the magazine calling you Employee of the Year, and I thought it was incredible. Michael, what do you want?" He grunted. I made a mistake, Anna, a significant blunder. The model, and we aren't together because I believe about you. I was aware of the truth. Would you grant me an opportunity to reboot this? Reset. You left me with over $20,000 of wedding costs. I inquired, not purchasing any garbage. I know, I realize it seems nothing short of nonsense miraculous, considering my flaws, but I've grown, Anna. I've grown. When I see you enlightened, so successful, so beautiful, he whispered, smiling faintly. My response was immediate. You did break my heart. So how will you repay me for my debt? Remember, money, right. I will repay you. And so, for the second time, can we begin anew? Okay, return the money and then we can discuss. Indeed, my desire was revivification rather than power, but I desired to see if he'd do as he stated. Ultimately, Michael agreed, and just as he promised, he handed over every dime. The following time he arrived at my apartment. I had an entirely different strategy in mind. Here's your money, Anna, every last dollar. So what do you say? Can we try again? He pleaded with eyes full of hope. I took a deep breath and stared at the man I had thought I'd spend the rest of my life with. Michael, getting this money back is closure to me. But getting this money back doesn't remove what happened. You called me. What did you say? Too fat and ugly. And now your model girlfriend has dumped you, and suddenly I'm beautiful and charming. I could hear the bitterness in my voice. He tried to counter, but I raised a hand to stop him. No, Michael. I'm over you. I've found someone who loves me, someone who sees beyond my looks or achievements. I've learned that I don't need someone who only sees my worth when I am climbing up. I don't need a traitor. I shut the door behind him, finally feeling that weight off my shoulders. I turned back to the life I recovered from the ashes he had left me, a life overflowing in love, respect, and genuine happiness. Alex sauntered into the room, one arm looped around my waist. Are you in, Michael? Alex trailing off, sensing the atmosphere. I threw my arms around him, a smile spreading painfully wide across my face. I'm letting go of him, Alex. We can try to build the present, can we? Alex cupped my face gently. Yes, we can, he vowed with a kiss on my forehead. And just like that, the last chapter of my last was closed, freeing me to write a beautiful